April 22, 2025, 2:30 p.m. Baisaran meadow, 7,200 feet above sea level, Pahalgam's most famous tourist spot called the Switzerland of India. Terrorists emerged from the dense forests. 26 people were killed, mostly tourists. The first 72 hours, within hours of the attack, tourists who were in Kashmir began leaving immediately. Hotels reported guests checking out with packed bags. Srinagar Airport, which had 56,943 arrivals in the week before, reported flights nearly empty within days. In the first weeks, thousands of flights to Srinagar were cancelled across booking platforms. The government shut down 50 plus tourist spots and trekking trails for security reviews. In the following months, 13 lakh bookings scheduled for August were withdrawn. 80% to 90% cancellations across all booking platforms. Travel Agents Association of Kashmir. Inquiries down 80% plus hotel occupancy from 95% to 5% within days. This was not a gradual decline. This was a cliff. Mudassir Mir had operated his shikara on Dal Lake for 20 years. He used to give 10 rides daily, earning 1000 rupees to 1500 rupees per day. After the attack, he sat idle on the lake's banks, struggling to meet basic needs. Hotel Trident in Srinagar, 45 rooms, before April 22nd, 95% occupancy, booked months in advance. After April 22nd, in 43 out of 45 rooms vacant, doors untouched, beds perfectly made for guests who never came. Manzoor Pakhtun Houseboat Owners Association, 200,000 beds available across Kashmir, 95% empty. Here is a data point that the Invalid must present honestly. The overall J&K tourism figure of 2.36 crore 2024 includes 2 crore tourists visiting the Jammu region, including an estimated 1 crore Vaishno Devi pilgrims. An RTI filed by transparency activist M. Shuja revealed Kashmir's tourism department records 29.86 lakh visitors to Kashmir Valley in 2024. The government's economic survey records 34.98 lakh for the same period, the same government. Two official sources, 18 lakh discrepancy. This does not diminish the collapse. Even by the lower figure, Kashmir Valley went from 29.86 lakh to 11.16 lakh, a 63% drop. Still catastrophic. September 2024, 100,000 tourists in Kashmir Valley. September 2025, 9,000 tourists, a 91% collapse in exactly 12 months. Signs of cautious recovery. By December 2025, Gulmarg reported hotel occupancy at 50 to 60%. January to February 2026, Khelo India Winter Games 2026 were held in Gulmarg. Tourism officials reported bookings surged, the most optimistic winter since pandemic years. Srinagar's Tulip Garden, the largest in Asia, opened for its 2026 season. Over 2.25 lakh visitors, including 600 foreign tourists, a soft but real signal. February 16, 2026, authorities reopened 14 tourist destinations, including Gulmarg, Pahalgam, Sonamarg, Dudh Patri. April 2026, Jammu Srinagar, Vande Bharat Express expected, reducing travel time to approximately 5 hours. This direct rail connection could be a game changer for middle-class Indian tourists. The 4-point revival framework, based on what has worked globally: Sri Lanka post-Easter bombing 2019, Bali post-2002 bombing, Thailand post-2010 crisis. Fix 1. Visible security without visible militarization. Tourists feel safe when they see order, not when they see guns. Plainclothes security, tourist police units, real-time safety apps. Fix 2. Targeted marketing in source. Markets: West Bengal sends 30% of Kashmir's tourists. Maharashtra and Gujarat together send 35%. Road shows and influencer campaigns in these states, not globally. 5x3. Diversify beyond Pahalgam. Too much concentrated in one spot. Gurez, Keran, Tosa Maidan, Bangez Valley, Lolab Valley. Spread the tourism, spread the risk. Fix 4. Financial relief for loan bearing businesses, taxi operators, houseboat owners, small hoteliers who took loans expecting a record 2025 season, now paying EMAs with zero income. Loan moratorium and interest subvention is not charity, it is economic triage. The hard truth about recovery timelines: Kashmir has been here before, multiple times. 2016, unrest, recovered in 2 years. COVID 2020, near zero tourists, bounced back fully by 2022. Article 370 shutdown. 2019, recovered by 2021. 1990s militancy. 25 years to recover. The 2025 collapse sites somewhere in between. It is not the 1990s. Security is fundamentally better, but it is also not COVID, which was a global problem with no local narrative. The Pahalgam attack created a specific fear about tourist safety in Kashmir. That specific fear is harder to reverse than a general pandemic. Industry experts project full return to pre attack occupancy levels, estimated by 2027 at earliest. The government says 2.36 crore tourists visited Jammu and Kashmir in 2024, but Kashmir Valley got 35 lakh. Isn't the headline number misleading? This is the most important data question, and the Invalid must answer it honestly. The government's headline figure of 2.36 crore tourists for J&K in 2024 is accurate, but it includes the entire Union Territory, not just Kashmir Valley. Breakdown: Jammu region, approximately 2 crore tourists, of which approximately 1 crore are Vaishno Devi pilgrims alone. Kashmir Valley, approximately 35 lakh tourists. An RTI by M. Shuja revealed Kashmir Valley received 29.86 lakh in 2024, while the Economic Survey says 34.98 lakh. The same government, two official sources. 18 lakh discrepancy. When we say Kashmir tourism collapsed 63% in 2025, we mean Kashmir Valley went from approximately 35 lakh to 11.16 lakh. Both numbers are technically true. What matters is which number is relevant to the Shikara operator on Dal Lake. For him, it's the valley number. Kashmir has recovered from crisis before 2016 COVID, Article 370. Why is 2025 different? Each previous crisis had a defining characteristic that made recovery predictable. 2016 unrest was domestic political. Tourists from outside the state understood it would pass. COVID was global. No destination was safe, so Kashmir's relative risk didn't change. Article 370 was a policy event. Once stability returned, tourism reasons to visit remained intact. The Pahalgam attack is structurally different. It created a specific narrative. Tourists are being targeted in Kashmir. That is harder to counter than the whole world is under a pandemic. Additionally, the 1990s collapse context matters. The community that built Kashmir's service economy, the Kashmiri Pandits, never returned. The ecosystem that was rebuilt between 2019 to 2024 was built by a generation with no inherited institutional memory of how to sustain tourism through a prolonged crisis. Recovery is possible, but the 2025 crisis requires a fundamentally different response than previous ones because the fear is localized and specific, not global. Is Kashmir tourism model structurally flawed, dependent on one region, one season, and one type of visitor? This is the structural question the 2025 collapse has forced onto the table. Kashmir's tourism was over-concentrated in three ways: geographically, Pahalgam, Gulmarg, Sonamarg, Dal Lake; seasonally, April to September summer peak; demographically, almost entirely domestic Indian tourists. A single attack on a single location in a single season wiped out an entire year's tourism economy. That is the definition of structural fragility. The data also shows foreign tourist share was just 0.19% of total J&K visitors in 2024, 65,452 out of 2.36 crore. Countries like Switzerland get 50% plus from international visitors. International tourists are more resilient, they plan further ahead, insure their trips, and are less responsive to domestic media panic. The 4 point revival framework addresses this, but the deeper question is, can Kashmir build a tourism economy that doesn't collapse every time one incident happens in one meadow? That is not a political question, it is an infrastructure and policy question, and the data says the answer is not yet.